Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Elements. Again, bhikkhus. A bhikkhu reviews the same body, however it is placed, however disposed by way of the elements thus. In this body, there are the earth element, the water element, the fire element, and the air element. Just as though a skilled butcher or his apprentice had killed a cow and was seated at the crossroads with it cut up into pieces, so too a bhikkhu reviews the same body by way of elements thus. In this body, there are the earth element, the water element, the fire element, and the air element. In this way, he abides contemplating the body as a body, internally, externally, and both internally and externally. And he abides independent, not clinging to anything in the world. That too is how a bhikkhu abides, contemplating the body as a body.
Thank you, sister. So, this is the one of the major contemplation of the body. I would like to ask you, have you ever practiced 4 elements? And if you have done it, what is your experience on it? And so once you shared your comments, then I will explain how we practice these elements and what are the important components of this and how we can use this practice with the other objects as well. I'm happy to listen to your insight.
What I understand from this practice is that whatever the elements are in this body, it is the same as what is present out there. So the say the water element here, in this body, the blood, the sweat, urine, all that is no different from the water out there that you see in the river, the seas, the rain, and the body elements of earth, the skeleton, the brain, the heart, the lungs, the spleen, the liver, the stomach, intestines, the feces, skeleton, and all that is no different from the earth out there. But that's what I understand.
Thank you. So any other comments?
I think whenever I do a reflection of this nature, I feel that there seems to be a very minute change. Each time is different in the sense that the feeling, I can see that there's very, very minute change in the body. So to say that it is a very minute thing that I observe. That's about all. Thank you, Bante.
Thank you. So as we have shared the screen and I can't see everyone, but feel free to talk.
Bante, from my experience this whole week, the solidness of my bones, that's what I experienced. The fluidity of my breath, of course. Warm or cold feeling of my body. And also the gentle breeze of my breath. This is what I found out, Bante. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing and then we can see each other. Also, I'm going to describe how to practice it. 4 elements. It is a necessary practice and I completely agree with Sister Veena's comment. So that is how we have to see it. 4 elements. Other comments also fitting in. So this body is completely made out of these 4 elements. When I requested you to focus on foulness, 32 bodily components, I got some personal feedbacks that they are having some difficulties with observing it. I understand that some practitioners is not ready to absorb or tolerate this type of practices at once. Besides that, another recommendation is these 4 elements. That because all these 32 components of the body is belong to the 4 elements. But the 4 elements have given an overall idea about the whole structure. There are 20 kind of solid components of earth element in the body. The other 12 are liquids or the water element. Air element is kind of untouchable, but we have in-breath, out-breath, and the other air moving throughout the body. Cold and heat is the fire element of the body. There are 2 other elements, altogether 6, consciousness element and the space element. But that too do not come in the 4 elements because it's not something material or physical. Also, with the animate things, there's no consciousness element, but there's a space element. When we focus on these elements, what Buddha's advice was, we are supposed to separate out these components and focus on each one of them. There's a saying that we look into these elements internally and externally. There's a reason for it. So what are the internal elements? That is, which is belong to us as the physical body. And most of the things are invisible. We can see only few of them. Hair, head hair, body hair, skin, nails, teeth, only those few. And from the internal side, we can see excreta and urination when we remove them from the body, and sweat and tears. But many of them are hard to see without opening the body. So therefore, it's kind of hard to imagine the looks likes of the body. We know only the physical appearance. So what's the purpose of this practice? Is that we all have various degrees of attachment to the body. We have clung to this. We all consider this as my body, which is okay. That's what we are here. And even when we look back to the samsara, this is what we expected as a human. The height, the size, and the energy, and the age, lifespan, and everything that we have expected from samsara, which we have received here. So no choice, we cannot change this body because it has to finish as it came to the world, but we can do simple adjustments only, nothing other than that. We have built up our whole world around this body with what we can see, what we can hear, taste, smell, and touch, those 5. Having these 4 elements, experiencing this body, we have 5 objects to experience out of this body. And when we experience or when we enjoy these objects, the world simply, we completely forget about who we are, what is the realities. Therefore, we are advised to practice or focus on these elements. The earth element, which is internal and external, the solidness, solidity, hardness. Internal solidities are these 20 kind of parts, bodily parts, including head hair, body hair, skin, teeth, nails, bones, etc. Those are solid components. Those are internal earth element. Then what are the external earth elements? All the solid things which is touchable, not belong to me. That can be other people. So what is belong to me is internal. What is belong to others, it's external. And your spouse, children, parents, or whoever, living beings, they all are external to you, to me. And all the other inanimate things also belong to this earth element, solid things. And we consider, when you observe, I have these elements as well as the other beings also have the earth element. It's a comparison. We compare each to other and then we try to make ourselves understanding. There's nothing to fight for this, nothing to be jealous, nothing to worry about it, because whatever the hair I have, others also have the hair. It doesn't matter it's long or short or gray or black or white or whatever. And as a young person, our hair is not smelly, stinky. But when we are growing and when we're getting older, though we have a lot of shampooing or washing or taking care of those, they become very, very stinky very quickly. Then that's a comparison. So we try to understand the actual nature of those, which make us understanding and not to cling to it, not to crave for it, no matter what. And so forth. All these solid components we see in that way. And then we compare internally and externally and get the idea that, oh, these finally, end of the day, these are these are going back to the earth, origin. These all components, solid components, going back to the origin, and when they are with the earth, they're kind of recycling back and forth. That's how we compare these solid components and try to not to crave or not to cling for them. We see the actual nature. Then water elements. Internal water elements, there are 12 kind of liquids in the body, including sweat, tears, urine, blood, and the other liquids which belong to this body. So those liquids also are the same as the out or external liquids. Then whatever I have belong to me, others also have the same in different degrees. Also, the animate and inanimate liquids, which belong to beings, also to the nature. Then there are air element, internal air element, which is in breath, out breath, the air in the belly, and then the air coming in and out from the ears. Those are internal air element. That air element has ability of moving. That's why we are easily move back and forth. And also this air element has the ability of making the shape. That's why the air blow us and air blow everything. It has the ability of expanding and making the shapes, external air element. Then again compare whatever the wind, whatever the air belong to other beings is the same. Also, the air element in the nature. It's very interesting that we have a lot of separations among beings, like we have divisions like poor, rich, educated, uneducated, high caste, low caste, Sri Lankans, Singaporeans, Malaysians, Canadians, Americans, so many divisions. But when we sit together, I breathe in oxygen, I breathe out what we call
Carbon dioxide.
carbon dioxide. Thank you. So then you breathe in oxygen and carbon dioxide released. And then I breathe in. And even different type of smells, they are belong to the air element. So there is no rich air, poor breathing, rich breathing. There's no divisions. Same as for the other elements as well. When they blow, it's everywhere. The solidness is common. And the fire element, cold and heat, the temperature, internal temperature is helping us to maintain the bodily features. And that's why we easily digest the food and easily maintain the body. Then that is internal. External, again, with the other beings and with the other inanimate things. So Buddha asked us to compare these four in order to understand the actual factors of the world, not to cling with them, not to crave for them. Also, this directly helps us to cut off or remove our ego, because we have ego, mana, belongingness. We have made I, me, myself through these four elements. When we compare these internally and externally, this is a way to get rid of or understand or remove our ego. This is a way to think equally, balance ourselves. This is a way to maintain the equilibrium of the world. That's why we are advised to practice this. It provides necessary understanding to a practitioner, and that can enhance the ability or energy of the practice. So that is what I can share right now. I would request you all to take a moment to look into this and apply this practice throughout this week, and then we can see how the progress is. Those are the initial details. Then now your job is to apply this. And if you haven't started the foulness, please do so and try to use these four elements as well. Also, during this week, when you deal with or moving with the other stuff, when you touch things, when you experience other objects through the senses, try to use or try to utilize these four elements, the sense of four elements. And when you touch external things, like sometimes we hug, we handshake, and we touch children, and we touch each other. And so those things, be aware of those. Whenever you move with all the bodily activities, still you can see four elements. Breathing in and out, and the temperature, and the liquids, and the solidness, they all are here. Then be mindful and be aware of them, and get those moments as an opportunity to observe. So that is what I can share for today.